My daughter, 15F, has a 529 that my ex-husband and I set up and have been paying into. She has about 73K in there for her college. My ex-husband and I broke up amicably, so we still have been contributing jointly. My current husband and I started dating 6 years ago and got married 3 years ago. His son, 18M, is attending college this fall and is paying out of pocket. His ex-wife and he apparently didn't save anything for his son, and so he has to take out loans. He brought up the idea of splitting my daughter's college fund with his son because she is a few years from needing it, so he thought I could take out half of what I put in to give to him. I told him I've been paying for my daughter way longer than we've been together, and she knows there's money set aside for her schooling, no one is entitled to it but her. He laughed it off and accused me of being too serious. Last night though he brought it up again and got more demanding, saying his son is going to be stuck with a ton of debt, and I've known him since he was 12 and I have an obligation to help. I told him he had to help his son, and I never agreed to help his son pay for college, especially not through my daughter's fund. He got angry and accused me of not loving his son, otherwise I would be sharing the college fund, and drove off. He came back after a few hours and apologized, and then this afternoon after work brought up me helping his son with college again, which I shot down, and he got angry at me for again. Not the idiot. His son isn't entitled to the fund that you and your ex-husband are funding. Your ex-husband isn't doing that for him, he's doing it for his daughter. He could ask you to currently help his son out, but even then if you say no, it's not fair for him to get mad. I think OP's ex would be hugely angry, I mean erupting like Vesuvius, if the money he contributed to their daughter's college fund was diverted to some rando kid he's not related to. OP should tell hubby that he needs to go talk to her ex to give up his half of that money and to let her know how that works out. Sarcasm. Oh no, I would not tell husband to talk to the ex and give up half of the money. That is tantamount to OP saying she is amenable to it. Not a good idea. I think the point would be to underscore for OP's husband that she can't take money from her daughter to give to her stepson, that what OP's husband is asking for isn't just immoral, but illegal. Not the idiot. Why in the world didn't he bring this up 3 years ago when you and he got married? And has he been contributing to your daughter's college fund? Did he ever even offer? If not, then he clearly intended to leave the funding of her education to you and her father and should have expected to pay for his own kid's education with the help of his son's mother. Because he didn't know about it until 2 years ago. Okay, so 2 years ago. Has he been giving money to your daughter's college fund? I'm a nanny for a high-profile family. I signed a very extensive and strict NDA. Anyone directly involved in my life, mom, dad, sis, and husband, also signed an NDA non-disclosure agreement. The nanny family recommended this to talk about the job without getting into any legal trouble or putting them at risk. Recently ran into one of my parents' neighbors, Amber, at the park. Amber asked how the new job was going, then proceeded to ask specifics about how it must be working for a family where the parents are, insert their jobs here. A direct violation of the NDA and something I could be fired and sued for. My dad isn't the sharing type at all, so I figured it was probably my mom. I asked her about it in a casual "Hey, how's Amber" way. I said I ran into Amber at the park and that it was odd because she knew details about my job without me telling her. My mom simply shrugged and said, "That's funny. Maybe she Googled it? Or saw something on social media?" My dad and sister absolutely hate Amber. They essentially said hell would have to freeze over before they spoke to her willingly. My dad ended our convo when I asked him about it by saying, "The only thing I know about her is that her son just made partner at a law firm in New York and is making bank, and that's only because mom saw it on Instagram and told me about it." Right then, I knew my mom lied to me and it was her. She and Amber love to one-up each other with their children's success, and I also just landed a great new job. I asked my mom about it again, and she told me that I was being dramatic, making stuff up, and that she would never do that to me. My mom doesn't text people, only DMs on Instagram. I know her password, so logged in to check her messages. There was an extremely long DM to Amber where she shared their professions, children's names, ages, private schools, general locations of their homes, how they pay really well, etc. Everything that we are legally not allowed to say, she said. I called her immediately and said that I logged into her DMs and saw the message she sent Amber that was a violation. She started screaming at me about how she is supposed to be able to trust her daughter, she can't believe I hacked into her Instagram, And that mother should be allowed to brag about their children, and then she hung up. It has been a week without contact between the two of us. We used to speak every single day. I am starting to believe that maybe I'm the idiot here for violating her trust like that. My husband says if anyone violated trust here it is her, and that I gave her ample opportunity to tell the truth before I intervened and sought out the truth myself. He constantly reminds me that they could sue us into the ground and fire me for endangering my nanny family's well-being. Because truthfully, Amber could easily be a psycho fan or sell the information to someone who is. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot, your mom crossed the line and could end up costing you your job. I would be livid. Not the idiot. I would recommend a SIA and tell the family what your mom did and how you responded so that they know you didn't have anything to do with it. Not the idiot, your husband is right. She literally could ruin your lives with that information. I have two older siblings. My brother, 32, and my sister, 33. I am 21. I found out I was pregnant last year. Everyone was more than happy for us and congratulated us. Everyone but my sister. My sister had to basically look after me and take on a third parent role and watch me on nights my parents worked or weekends they worked. Because of that, she blamed me and hated me because I was the reason she lost her childhood. I've apologized countless times to her because this topic came up frequently, but after a while, I gave up trying to make it up to her for something I had no control over. Over and over again I'd get phone calls out of the blue from her reminding me how much I ruined her childhood up and had no remorse. When I announced my pregnancy my sister called me and ruined the moment by bringing up how she had to raise me and how she lost her childhood. Then, she started talking about my unborn child. Saying how I'm having my baby at an early age because I want him to raise his future little siblings like she had to. She continued on how I'd never make a good mom because I didn't grow up as she did. I finally had enough of her and went no contact. My son was born last month and everyone has gotten a chance to see him on FaceTime. My brother and parents were the only ones to see him in person. My sister got in contact with my brother and told him to tell me when she can see him. I told him to tell her she isn't allowed to see him because of the way she treated me when I was pregnant. I'm assuming she told our parents this because my dad wants me to let her see my baby. He said to let bygones be bygones and stop living in the past and my mom agreed. My fiancé is on my side. My brother is more on her side and only thinks she should apologize for what she said about me being a bad mom, which she's refused to apologize for because she insists she did nothing wrong. I'm not too keen on letting her see him still. I feel like I'm being an idiot by not allowing her to see him. Am I the idiot? Just to add, my brother also babysat me. He always said it wasn't as bad as my sister makes it out to be, also adding he didn't watch me as much as she did when he started to play sports. I barely remember my childhood days, I just know she stopped looking after me once I was 8-9. Not the idiot. Your sister is understandably angry, but her anger is misplaced. She should be angry with your parents. Your parents forced her to give up her childhood to become a third parent to you. The things she has said to you are unacceptable. She should seek therapy and apologize to you. Your parents are on her side because she is blaming you for their abuse. It's your child and your choice who has a relationship with him. You have done nothing wrong. Congrats on your little one. Not the idiot. Your parents say let bygones be bygones? They should tell that to your sister, not to you. Not the idiot. If she can't forget about the distant past, why should you have to forget about the recent past? She does not sound genuinely remorseful or apologetic. Why would you want someone so mean to you when really she should be mad at your parents around your baby?